I'm live. It's a miracle of modern technology. Hey, y'all. Let me make sure that all of my volumes are up high. Is this mic, in fact, actually working? I don't see a lot of movement around it. I hope that it's working. Somebody let me know. Let me pin a comment in the chat also. One question readings. Pay what you can and Venmo or got it. All right. And then can I pin this comment? Yes. Love that. I love that for me. So hi, happy Wednesday. Happy what Wednesday is the day of Mercury, so Mercury's day, so we can have effective communication and the sharing of our ideas and connecting across ideas. Happy July as well. Um, yeah, happy Disability Justice a month. Is it Justice a month or is it Disability Awareness Month? I'm going to say both because you need to be aware that there's a lack of justice and equality for disabled and chronically ill and neurodivergent people here in the world. Happy celebration and recognition of all of those things. What are we here for today? We're here for a couple of different reasons. One, to look at the astrological transits of July. Two, to offer the people an opportunity that is financially accessible to talk about astrology. And it need not just be what's going on with my astrology for July. It can be bigger, larger astrological questions too. Um, so do reach out in the chat with any questions that you have. Feel free to send Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, or make other arrangements. Let's figure out a barter sort of situation that could be cute. We're doing the Pay What You Can readings. We're going to talk about the transits for July, and we will do the raffle drawing. I have as a strategy to help me raise the rent as a low income person, self-employed person, unemployed person. I'm doing a raffle, or I did a raffle for the month of June. And the raffle entry is closed on June 30th, but it is a raffle for an oil painted portrait created by me of you or a subject of your choosing. Super cute. I had a raffle for that, and we will do the randomly selected winner for that during this live stream as well. A lot of potential things that could happen, and let's see what actually happens given our capacity. Also, I see a little flower. And this is what I'm talking about, RE capacity, because the focus is not with us today. I believe that this is a Kalanchoe. Don't quote me on that. If you know anything about plants, comment below. I think that's a Kalanchoe, but yeah, look at its little blossom. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. What is going on in the astrology for the month of July? Okay, first of all, um, you didn't hear it from me, but everybody's going retrograde. Not everybody, but all of the outer planets. And it is retrograde season. That does tend to happen in one at one point in the year. There'll be like a clump where everybody decides to go retrograde at the same time. And that's, just how sometimes the pattern of planets can play out. Ooh, say that three times real fast. But also, isn't it interesting to think about how what a retrograde means and how that might show up in our lives? So, generally speaking, retrograde is this opportunity to redo, to reconsider. I think that we are most familiar with Mercury retrograde, so we get to go back over old contracts, old documents, old conversations. People that we used to share ideas with might pop up back in our lives, and we get to reconsider our relationship to them, the relationship that we have to the things that were said. Do we actually still actually believe those things? We get to reconsider the contracts and promises that were made. Yeah, it's a grand old time. But yeah, as it relates to the other planets going retrograde, similar reconsiderations are at play, but according to each one of those planetary lessons. So this month, planetary lessons that we will get to reconsider are, where are my notes? Oh, here. We'll get to reconsider some Neptune medicine. In what ways have our dreams helped us propel ourselves forward? But also, in what ways have we not, have our dreams obfuscated the reality and like the really real stuff that we needed to see instead of being delusional about things? We'll get to consider some lessons around those things when Neptune goes retrograde on July 5th. And I've got some, well, I have these points all noted, so we can look at some charts too if you want. If you want, if I want, if we want, we can look at some charts. But yeah, Neptune medicine being reconsidered. July 13, we have Saturn going retrograde. So we'll get to reconsider some of the Saturn medicine lessons. And when I think about Saturn, I think about, okay, yeah, but what are the boundaries? The structures that you have in place in this particular area of life that help you get things accomplished, to help you do the work, the task that Saturn is asking you to complete. And with a Saturn in Aries, I'm wondering about tasks related to uh, advocating for oneself. I wonder about boundaries related to self advocacy, and having one's own agency and autonomy, those kind of tasks. And yeah, with Saturn going retrograde on, what is that, July 13? How will we get to reconsider the commitments that we've made earlier in this year about how we're going to start showing up for ourselves and have better boundaries around ourselves and as we relate to others? That'll be interesting. Another retrograde, we're going to have a Mercury retrograde. And we talked about that in terms of like an example of the medicine that we might get to reconsider. So, yeah, Mercury retrograde, that is starting July 18. And that's in Leo. So mind the Leo house in your chart. Mind the degrees that it's going through. Do I have the degrees marked? I don't have it on here. We'll look at the chart if we want. But yeah, if you have any planetary placements around that will be crossed by the Mercury retrograde or any of these planetary retrogrades, keep an eye on that. Also, if you had any planetary placements that might be opposing or squaring any of these planetary retrogrades. So, what planets do you have in Aquarius? What planets do you have in Scorpio, in Taurus? The other fixed signs that will be making the squares to the Mercury retrograde transit. And yeah, we'll look at the other transits as well. Um, yeah, so that by the end of the month, we will have Pluto retrograde, Neptune retrograde, Saturn retrograde, and Mercury retrograde. We didn't talk about Pluto. Hey, friend, thanks so much for stopping by. But yeah, with the Pluto retrograde, I wonder what we will be asked to consider in terms of shadow work and looking at like the darkest parts of ourselves, as well as what we might be asked to consider about our own or reconsider about our own like personal power and how we're once again showing up as a person who can advocate for themselves. Who is that? I only see A. Is that Asia? I wonder because I was talking about you today in therapy, child. It is. Yeah, I thought so. Yes, this is what had came up today in therapy was the fact that I hold you in high esteem and really enjoy you, and also our communication strategies are not the same. And I don't know how you get to be friends with somebody if your communication strategies are not the same. But yeah, I was talking about how I primarily am communicating or tend to communicate via social media apps, Instagram, maybe Facebook, Discord, yeah. Yeah. But we connected via YouTube, but YouTube doesn't have any space to DM people. I feel like we could connect if YouTube had a space to DM people because we could just shoot YouTube videos back and forth all day and kiki. And, you know, there would be the bids for connection and then the answers for care. You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I will just say that I hold you in high esteem and I'm still mentally strategizing the things. Would you say, yes, it doesn't, but I'm sure we can find a better alternative? Yeah, right? Just got to consider it and think about all of the technology that is available to us and also our capacities. That's so real in terms of life happening as well. But yeah, I just want to let you know that I was thinking about you and talking about you in the good ways, not any of the bad, shitty ways. So I will say that. We're talking about transits for the month of July, and I was talking about how there's so many dang retrogrades happening. Feel free to just throw any transits out there that you're curious about. Blah blah blah. Yakety schmackety. I feel awkward. It's okay. I'm okay. We're okay. But yeah, where I was at the place where I was saying that at the end of the month, we're going to have Pluto retrograde, Neptune retrograde, Saturn retrograde, and Mercury retrograde. So Pluto in Aquarius, Neptune in Aries, Saturn in Aries, Mercury in Leo. So I'm marking that because it seems like that's like some cardinal and some fixed energy being represented in terms of the retrograde. Just underlining for you if you have cardinal fixed placements that, this might be a more activated time for you. Also, the fact that there are so many fire placements, the Aries Leo ness of it all, and that the other planetary placement is air. And I'm thinking about how air gets fire going. Air expands fire. Air and fire are buddies. And in terms of like the retrogrades all being opportunities to reconsider, a lot of that is the intellectual realm, the air realm. And so, what will we be reconsidering, and how will that get us like hyped up? What will the end of July look like? What did you say? Janelle says, I genuinely will get back to you on that chart thing. There's good reasons that I haven't yet. I believe you. I believe you. I believe you. And you will get back to me in the most perfect and divine timing. I believe it. And I can't wait when you do because I'm so curious. I'm so curious to see what you're talking about. But yeah. So yeah, those are like the major points. There's also a couple of other transits that I thought were interesting, and I'm just gonna vaguely mention them. But yeah, the Uranus goes into Gemini on July 7th. It'll be the first time for that in a long while. I wonder what that will mean in terms of like tech surprises or changes to our ideas about how we engage with technology. I'm specifically thinking about AI kinds of things, but don't start me. Don't start me. Oh, Assia says that Venus Uranus conjunction in Taurus happens on in my fourth. Very curious about any ideas you might have. That Venus Uranus conjunction in Taurus. Wait, hold on. I know about Uranus going into Gemini, but you're talking about right before it does. Is that right now? Is that happening right now? Wait, hold on. I want to go look at the chart. Let's go look at the chart. Mm. On Friday, you say. Okay, hold on. Let's look at the chart. Friday is the third. Is that true? No, the fourth. Go one day back. Okay, are we looking at the right chart together? I hope so. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to see how it gets itself together. Yeah. Ooh. So yeah, this is happening like right now or has been happening. Well, you obviously I don't have any thoughts about it because I was not aware. But yeah, we got it in sign and then it's out of sign and they rejoin back together. Ooh, this is interesting. I mean, it's apparently been happening, so but yeah, I would have expected some sort of like great upset in terms of the financial markets. Um, and if this has been happening at least since, I would say, like the 30th, you could say, and it's been applying up until the moment when it's exact on the 4th. No, yeah, maybe somewhere around the early parts of the 4th. That's interesting. Ooh, I need to give that some thought. Oh no, the screen is dark. I'm so sorry. Maybe because I was looking at it? Can you see it now? Okay, I think it was because I was looking at it. That's messed up that I can't see it and use my cursor on it at the same time. But yeah, so this is right now, it's looking at July 4th. But it looks like this has been happening since like June 28th, 29th or so. And so, yes, in Taurus, and then they're in the same sign, and then there's an outer sign, and that's what I'm looking at here, July 4th. But then, yeah, later on, Uranus catches up. And so this has definitely been unfolding, and we should be feeling the zenith of it right now. But yeah, I would expect some sort of like market upset, specifically market upset to do with someone's misspeaking or straight up technology. Hmm. I'm curious, what did you have a different set of expectations based on? But also, I don't know if this is actually happening. I haven't seen that in the news. I've seen about this big, beautiful bill, but it doesn't seem to be like causing any sort of financial market upset. I think the average person is feeling the financial strain, but yeah. Anyway, I'm curious to see how that plays out and if you have anything to say about it. 'Cause I wanna know what the people think. What are you saying? Oh, okay. So yeah, that is okay, so this is July 4th, so this is kind of what's happening now. Today is the second. But as we're going into the weekend, ooh, as we're going into the weekend is when we get the zenith of that. Child, y'all watch your money. um, I'm curious. But yeah, then Uranus will catch up and it'll still be conjunct ish in a weakening uh, conjunction with Venus, separating conjunction, and then it will be in the same sign on July 7th. The next thing I got is that we got the Capricorn full moon on July 10th. Oh yeah, Venus and Uranus coming together seems queer. It does seem queer. I feel like I feel that way if I were to see it in a person's chart, I would be like, "Oh yeah, that's very queered, relating to others kind of energy." But yeah, if I were to think about like ooh, the mundane or what the collective is experiencing, I don't know. I feel like that's a kind of weakness for me. I'm often like describing what the energies mean, but only being able to see it as it relates to specific people's charts, um, or individual charts anyway. But yeah, we got the July 10 Capricorn full moon. We talked about Saturn going retrograde on the 13th, Mercury going retrograde on the 18th, the sun moving into Leo on the 22nd of July. Um, where it will be making a sextile. Oh my gosh, it'll be making a sextile to that conjunction, apparently. Oh, that's interesting. Sun giving power and energy to any particular thing that's going on. July 24th, we got the new moon in Leo at 2 degrees, and that new moon is directly opposite. Wait, is that true? Is it opposite of Pluto? Oh, and trine the conjunction of Neptune and Saturn. Yeah. So that's some things that are happening. I just bored the shit out of myself reading that list. I'm sorry. I don't know. I might shift to questions. Do other people have questions about their charts and their individual goings on? Because I just got really bored of discussing transits. I think that they're not they're not boring. The transits are interesting, but I think it's when you look at individual charts that I find it more interesting to think about. Oh, this is interacting with your such and such, rather than hey, there's stars in the sky, which feels mostly like what transit readings feel like to me. Mm, mm, mhm, mm, mhm, mm. Um, oh, let me go check out one of the charts. Was one of them interesting? July 5th at 2:34. Hold on. July 5th. Let's go back. Hold on just a second while I get this chart set up. All right, this is the chart for the Neptune going a retrograde. And where is that? Here. So Neptune retrograde in Aries, conjunct Saturn in Aries, which will also soon be retrograde. What? How many days is that? 8 days later on the 13th? Yeah, it's interesting to think about these two planets sitting next to each other. So when they're direct, as they are right now, The oh wait, they are right now, but then Neptune goes retrograde on the 5th. So yeah, thinking about them being direct right there, now I'm thinking about Neptune and how we're all about, or how it can be about. I think of it as the ways in which hope and being delusional and being hopeful and imagining and relying on faith and spirit, those kinds of things can help us to propel ourselves forward. And then Saturn is sitting right next to it and asking us to also, yes, dream, but can you have some boundaries and some structures in place so that we can both dream and build an action plan? That's what I think about when I think about them both sitting in Aries. And so, yes, the combining of these energies, but then if they both go retrograde, Neptune on the 5th, Saturn on the 13th, then we get this opportunity to look and see, okay, so since these planets have been in Aries since I think mid May, I think Saturn entered on the 24th. I can't remember. But yeah, since these planets have been in Aries, there's been something about your personal boundaries, something about your personal like sense of like advocating for yourself and agency for yourself and authority for yourself that you've been building, right? And I'm curious about what area of life that might fall into based on like where you find areas in your chart. And then, yeah, if you've been building this and thinking, yeah, I'm on track, I'm doing really good with like the structures that I'm putting in place, and I've got my shit together. At what point in the retrograde will you look up and go, actually, being so freaking for real right now, I don't have my shit together, and I've been lying to myself potentially, or I have been duped from external forces. That is the kind of thing that I might expect when you experience a sort of Saturn Neptune retrograde in Aries. So yeah, curious about that and how that might play out in folks' lives. I have that playing out in my fifth house. Um, and in my fifth house, the fifth house things that have to do with like creativity and self-expression are really, really alive for me right now. And I'm wondering about a particular artistic opportunity that I was trying to pursue and how I might be lying to myself about the possibility of that opportunity being possible, and how I might be lying to myself about the usefulness of this particular opportunity. Just because I want to be seen and affirmed, little Leo moon things. So yeah, I will let you look at the charts for the other ones because I feel maybe at the end of my capacity to just to talk about astrology in this moment. But before I go, I definitely wanted to share the raffle drawing winner with you all. So let me get set up for that. Um, oh, I opened Instagram and there was a picture of Sylvia Rivera standing in front of a star banner, that nonprofit that she started for trans women. And it's so sweet. It's so sweet to see her young and healthy, but this is not what I'm looking for. What am I looking for is pictures of my artwork. Here we go. All right, share this tab instead. So I don't know if people are aware of this, but I'm also an artist in addition to being an astrologer. These are some works that I created for the month of June to celebrate Pride. Um, because there was a sort of group art show that I wanted to be in where it was art painted on canvas bags. What did you see? I'm kind of seeing that Saturn Neptune conjunction a bit like the necessary delusions that drive us towards the things that we want to create that don't exist right now. Yes, I feel that. And then how do you feel about when it goes retrograde? Do you think it will be an opportunity to be like, oh no, I've been lying to myself, or oh, this situation is not actually what I thought it was? Or do you think something else? Tell me about that. Sorry, I'm making you type way, way too much. I'm gonna go back to the art thing while you're thinking about it because I am actually curious what you have to say. But yeah, it was a art show of art on canvas bags. So I just did three upcycled canvas bags. They are of Black, queer, and trans people. Here is the Audrey Lorde. I feel like that was probably my favorite. Oh, by the way, 2 out of the 3 of these bags have sold already. The only one that's available still is the Marsha P. Johnson flower tote. If you're interested, do let me know. So that's the Audrey Lorde. This is the Andre Leon Talley. I liked the process of researching the color choices here because these are Lagerfeld colors, who was somebody that he considered like a peer, and I don't know why. Um, a lot about Andre Leon Talley's life is category. I don't know why you would choose that, but I'm grateful that you did because you looked fabulous doing it. And then the last one is the Marsha P. Johnson flower tote. So as you can see, this is a triangular shaped tote bag that you drop a bouquet of flowers in, and then all the flowers are the flowers that are in her hair. How cute is that? That's adorable. I think people don't know that it's a flower tote because it says it on a tag, and I know that people don't often read things. But yeah, let me know. This is the last one that's available. Anyway, I'm just showing off some recent portraits that I did as a way to segue us into, hey, I'm going to do the raffle now. So, as a reminder, how do I stop sharing? So yeah, as a reminder, I am a unemployed, self-employed, Black, queer, autistic person, and I am doing everything that I can think of to make the ends meet. I run 2 blogs, 2 identical blogs on Patreon and on Buy Me a Coffee. Patreon.com, Vagina Jenkins, buymeacoffee.com, Vagina Jenkins. Support there starts at $5 a month. And I know that $5 does not seem like a whole lot of money, but it's the consistency of the thing. It's knowing that the support is there in a sustainable way rather than like the experience of charity, which is like these one time gifts that seem like so large and important, but that's to make the giver feel good, not necessarily for the wellness, health, and stability of the receiver. Anyway, so I've got those blogs that I run. I run this YouTube channel where I release new content every Wednesday. You can also become a member of my YouTube channel starting at $3.99 a month. That's another way that I make ends meet. I take art um, commissions and I sell original art on my website. And I also offer astrology readings. So yeah, between all of those things, I barely meet my income needs. And sometimes I have to do a little fundraising. One of the ways that I will do fundraising is to offer up what I call a rent raffle. And so I'm offering up the opportunity to win a custom portrait of you or your loved one. And so, yeah, the entries for this particular raffle have closed already. But keep your eye open in the future for other opportunities to win commissioned art from me. And yeah, having said all of that, let's get into the thingamabobber. And by thingamabobber, I mean choosing a winner. Hold on. Which tab? It's that tab. The random name picker. Give me just a second. And to make sure that it goes a little bit more slowly than it normally does. Um, hmm. Oh, here we go. Spin slowly. Yes. Spin time. Let's do 17 seconds. Great. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. I know that the screen was black for most of that, but this is the wheel that we are working with. Entries were $20 each, and people could enter as many times as they wanted. And so that's what's represented on the right side there. And now I'm going to click to spin and then come back immediately. So hold on. Let me see here. Click. Black Daria. Yay. Okay, so the winner is Black Daria 113, who I know from TikTok. This is kind of exciting. They got a good face. I'm hoping, I wonder if it's for them or if it's for another person. Anyway, thank you, Black Daria, for supporting me, for having my back, for throwing down some funds to help me survive and stay housed. It is absolutely appreciated. And I will be reaching out to you as soon as possible to gather your information so that we can make you an amazing portrait. Yes, 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 yes. Also, thank you to everybody that submitted, that entered for the raffle. Yes, you may not have won this time, but there will be other opportunities. And I also thank you for helping me to stay housed, to have food, to pay bills, those kinds of things. It is greatly appreciated. Um, okay, I think I don't have anything else to say. Is that true? I think so. Thank you so much for stopping by. I absolutely appreciate you. Wait, hold on. The retrograde is externalization action versus the internal reorganization. Yeah, just from earlier. I know. Hold on. I have to read it out loud to understand it. The retrograde as externalization of action versus internal reorganization of ideas, beliefs, the disillusionment with institutions. Yes, a retreat back into areas to re strategize and return with a vengeance. Ah, that's a really positive outlook. I like the idea of that. Yeah, that if Saturn and Neptune are sitting next to each other, that we might experience this one kind of energy where our delusions and our hopes drive us forward towards what we want. But then when we are having this retrograde energy, then it might be reorganizing some ideas and beliefs, actually experiencing disillusionment with institutions, Yeah. And then going back into our Aries energy to re-strategize. I feel it. I feel it. Yeah. I'm stuck on Aries and re-strategizing though. Uh, I feel a lot of what you're saying, but I don't know about Aries and strategy. I want to think more on that. Oh, I hope that I have the button checked where I get to see the chat later on after this is, when it's doing its replay. We'll find out. We will find out. Okay. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. Thank you so much. Good to see you. I see ya. And I'll keep thinking on it if you'll keep thinking on it. Yes. Yes. All right. Thank you, Cosmic Cuties. Appreciate you for stopping by. And I will see you another time. Bye.